What is going on, everybody? This is Play on Daily Fantasy Sports back at you today with another video. Today we're going to be looking at the NBA DraftKings and Fanduel slates for Wednesday, February 6th. So the format of this video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of giving some specific plays for each site, my cash locks and whatnot, instead on my computer I'm going to be pulling up and just basically giving my opinions on some of the top rated players of the day. So let me know if you like this format better. Uh, Before I was, just reading off some of the top plays and giving my. Before I was, this is what I'm doing now. I'm gonna be reading off the top plays, giving my opinions on them. But before it was more of a where I would just, make my picks based on projections, obviously, and then explain each pick. But now instead of picks, I'm just gonna be giving you. I'll still be giving picks, but it'll be a more broad sense. One video could have 10 guys I recommend, another video could have 5. So we'll just see. But without further ado, let's go ahead and open this off. So first things first, we're going to be starting with FanDuel today, a little change of pace. And the first guy that I'm going to be recommending on FanDuel is going to be Frank Jackson. Jackson has projections right now are all over him. His usage rate is right now at 22.1, which is a great stat for a guy at his salary on FanDuel. 3,700. He's a great punt play tonight. Has a very easy matchup against Chicago, and I like him getting a lot of minutes. The next guy that I am going to throw out there is actually going to be in that same game, and that is Chris Dunn. Dunn is one of the better mid-tier priced plays tonight, facing a weak Pelicans defense. I think Dunn is a great play to roster. He's projected 33 minutes on one site, 35 on the other. So if you take the average of that, a 34-minute Chris Dunn game would be massive, and I highly recommend, if he ends up playing, he's questionable right now, to roster him. And the next guard that I'm going to throw out there is going to be kind of just two guards in one. That'll be Marco Bellinelli and Bryn Forbes. Today, DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge are sitting out for the Spurs, so that's going to open up a lot more minutes for the younger guys. I almost feel like this is an interesting game because the Spurs are facing a Golden State Warrior team that is in Golden State. This is likely going to be a 40-point Warriors win or something massive like that. So I do like playing them, but I do advise some caution because there is always the chance that the Warriors just blow them out of the water and it ends up not even being a game. So uh, I think they're great plays given how when the game's close, and if it is close, they'll be monster usage rate plays. But in general, I kind of think that if this game's a blowout, who knows who's going to get minutes. So go ahead and looking at some of the forwards. The first guy that I'm going to go ahead and recommend is going to be Derek Favors, facing a weak Phoenix defense. I like Favors, and I also really like his teammate Rudy Gobert tonight. I think Phoenix can't defend the big men, and in both these scenarios, I think it's Phoenix has actually played well recently too. But both these scenarios, I think that if this ends up being a close game, that these are guys that you will want to roster. The next two big guys I'm going to recommend are going to be more Spurs, but the one in particular, there is Jacob Poeltl and Paul Gasol. But I'm going to talk about Poeltl specifically because with Poeltl, what you're getting is a guy that even in a blowout, the Spurs likely are going to want him to get minutes just because he's young. They want to see what they can get out of him. And so Poeltl is the one Spur where, like Bryn Forbes, Marco Bellinelli, if it's a 40-point game, these guys aren't going to play the end of the third, whole fourth quarter. Poeltl, however, could get those minutes, so that's why I like him. Paul Gasol wouldn't probably get those minutes just because of his age, so that is something to consider. So I will give a cash lock on FanDuel tonight, and the one cash lock that I'm going to give is going to be Rudy Gobert. I think Gobert is the best center on the slate. Unless you want to roll the dice with a Poeltl or a Paul Gasol play, I think this weak Phoenix defense is the perfect matchup to play him. And with some of these other cheap plays that I mentioned, he's an easy cap spend-up guy that can give you some reliable points. So next, let's go ahead and hop into DraftKings. So the first guy that I'm going to recommend on DraftKings is going to be Iman Shumpert against Houston. Sacramento has some injuries right now. I have my injury list pulled up right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at them. And yeah, for Sacramento tonight, it's looking like Sorry, my bad. But it's looking like Fox possibly could be on a minutes restriction. I know he went down hard 2 games ago. He played a full game last night, but Fox, they're saying might not get as many minutes. They're also projecting Eamon Shumpert. Both sites have him over 30 minutes, and I think against a Houston team that really can't defend the guards as well, he's a great player. Harden will be guarding him, so obviously Harden can't defend him. But anyway, the next guard that I'm going to go ahead and recommend is going to be James Harden. And the reason why is because Houston's been on a roll. They're facing a weak Sacramento defense in a blowout type game. But the big thing is Chris Paul's sitting out back-to-backs now. So with Chris Paul inactive tonight, James Harden is a monster play. I think he's for sure points, and he's a guy you'll definitely want to roster. Looking at some forwards now on DraftKings. The first forward that I'm going to go ahead and recommend is going to be Otto Porter. Porter's played really well recently. They're facing Milwaukee tonight. My one threat with this is that Milwaukee could just blow out the Wizards, however. If you paid attention to Bucks and Raptors games recently, I literally feel like these guys blow out everyone they play. I know for like personally because I've seen guys like Giannis who I know people who have rostered who had huge minute cuts just because of how good his team is blowing everybody out. So I do like Otto Porter tonight, but I think you have to advise some caution just with how this game could quickly turn into a blowout. And the final guy that I'm going to go ahead and recommend on DraftKings is going to be Jacob Podol. I think Paul Gasol and him are same price on DraftKings and Fanduel. I think they're reasonable plays on both. But again, I like Podol more just because of the fact that I think he's really guaranteed more minutes. Even in a blowout, he's going to get his minutes. I see him getting 24 to 26 minutes, which I think is great, especially for a 3,200 priced guy. And he's also going to be my cash lock on DraftKings. I think he's just a for sure nice, reliable play that can get done what you need to get done. So as always, if you have any comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Let me know how you liked the new formatting of this video, kind of being more broad, not saying, these are my picks, but just go ahead and basically giving out opinions on some of the top plays of the night and telling you which guys I am liking. So as always, feel free to like and subscribe if you want to continue supporting the channel, and we'll keep this rolling with the daily fantasy video every single day. Thanks.